Hey, what's up guys? Will here for GSM Arena, and welcome to our head-to-head series. And today we're going to be looking at Samsung's Galaxy A26 versus last year's Galaxy A25. The A26 brings some generational improvements over the previous model. But the A25 still has plenty to offer, and actually some advantages of its own. So let's compare our review findings head-to-head and see which of these two Samsung mid-rangers is best for you. And as always, you can find links to our extensive full reviews down below. The Galaxy A26 is a Samsung mid-ranger that's far from the highest tier, but packs plenty of features nonetheless. And the A25 is the previous model, which you might have your eye on if you're looking to save some cash. Design-wise, there are some subtle differences between the two phones. The A26 is slightly larger, and it also uses more durable Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on the front and back, compared to regular glass on the A25. Both phones have a plastic frame. Samsung has included ingress protection this year for the Galaxy A26, which the A25 didn't have. The new model is rated at IP67 against dust and water submersion. The display size has also been increased this year. The Galaxy A26 has a 6.7-inch OLED panel. The A25 screen is smaller at 6.5 inches, but the 1080p resolution and 120Hz refresh rate are the same. Despite the difference in size, both displays have the same level of sharpness and performance. Both phones have bezels that are on the thicker side, and neither phone has support for HDR video playback. Neither phone has an adaptive refresh rate. You get either a fixed 120Hz to smooth out your swiping and scrolling, or 60Hz. But for whatever reason, the older model has higher brightness and better usability outdoors. We measured to over 1000 nits maximum on the A25, compared to less than 800 nits on the A26. There is another major difference when it comes to audio. The A25 had stereo speakers, but the new model was downgraded to just a single speaker. As a result, the older model's setup is louder, with a very good rating on our charts, and the sound quality is much better than on the A26. Let's have a listen to both to compare.
Close the window and your eyes disappear into the blue. Wrap your fingers around the great escape.
Both phones have a side-mounted fingerprint reader for biometrics, and it's quite snappy. And you have expandable storage on both phones too, on top of the 128 or 256 gigs built in. As far as software goes, you get the same experience on either device. The Galaxy A26 runs Samsung's One UI 7 out of the box, and the Galaxy A25 is receiving an update to the same version at the time of this video. One UI 7 includes Samsung's latest features, and even though these devices are far from flagships, there are some AI-based features on board too. If you'd like to find out more about One UI 7, you can check out our dedicated video. The A26 will get 6 years of software support, which is longer than on the A25. It's promised 4 OS updates and 5 years of security patches, and one of those years has passed. The chipset of the Galaxy A26 is an Exynos 1380, made in-house by Samsung. Meanwhile, the Galaxy A25 runs on the previous generation chipset, an Exynos 1280. As a result, the new model is significantly more powerful, scoring higher than its predecessor across the board in benchmarks. In the grand scheme of things, neither phone is a powerhouse though, and the performance of the A25 is adequate for a smooth everyday experience. And I should mention that in the Latin American market, the A26 comes with the same Exynos 1280, so its performance there is identical to the A25's. And as expected for phones with a modest chipset, both devices do a great job at thermal management. When it comes to battery life, the results from both the A26 and the A25 were about the same in our testing. Neither phone is too impressive, despite having a 5000 mAh battery. The two phones are also rated for the same 25-watt charging, and as expected, the results are identical. They charge to about 50% in half an hour, and a full charge took about an hour and 25 minutes. Now onto the cameras, which are exactly the same. On the back, both phones have a main cam, an ultra-wide, and a dedicated macro shooter. However, despite having the same hardware, we do spot some differences in quality. From the main camera, the Galaxy A26's photos seem consistently sharper and more detailed. This difference in quality disappears when comparing the photos at 2x digital zoom. But at night, the A26 produces cleaner photos with less noise and resolves more detail in the shadows. During the day, both phones' ultra-wide cameras have very similar performance, which is adequate for the class. At night, the A26's ultra-wide shots are sharper and more detailed than the A25's, but also noisier. Selfies come from the same 13-megapixel front-facing camera on either phone, and the quality is great. And here's a look at selfie videos, which can be captured in 1080p resolution on either device. The main cameras can record videos in 4K though. They're a little bit on the soft side, but the quality is still good for the class. Here we have the ultra-wide clips. Like on the selfie cameras, these are limited to 1080p. And when shooting in 4K at night with the main cameras, the Galaxy A26 has a bit of an edge in quality. So there you have it, the Galaxy A26 versus last year's Galaxy A25. Both phones have the same software experience and microSD expandable storage. The battery life and charging speed are the same, and the camera setups are the same too. However, the Galaxy A26 has slightly better quality from its cameras. It also uses more durable glass for its build and has ingress protection. Its display is larger, the chipset is more powerful, and this phone has longer software support. With the Galaxy A25, you get a more compact build, and the display is brighter. You have stereo speakers, and this is the slightly less expensive phone. In the end, it's a toss-up between these two phones. If you want the better durability and chipset, it could be worth spending more for the A26. Otherwise, the A25 gets you a brighter display and better speakers, while saving you a bit of cash. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.